Welcome back. Now here I've got weapons in my inventory and it's all filled up. Now as soon as I line trace over this weapon, I'd like for the widget to say swap instead of pickup. So we're going to need to bind that text. Let's do that in this video. Now I'm here in the item class and I'm going to add a boolean on the item class that will be true when the character inventory is full. So let's add this private boolean. It's going to be a bool, and I'm going to call it b character inventory full. Now I'm going to give this a u property and make it visible anywhere, blueprint read only, category inventory. So I'm going to copy the u property for slot index and use it here. Now I'm going to give this a comment and say true when the character's inventory is full. And I'm going to go ahead and create a public setter for this. So down here in the public section, I'm going to say force inline. It's going to be void, and I'm going to call this set character inventory full. It's going to take a bool, and I'm going to call it be full. And we're going to set be character inventory full equal to be full. So when are we going to set this boolean? Well, in shooter character, let's take a look at trace for items. So here we are in trace for items. As soon as we set the visibility to true and enable the custom depth, we can check our character's inventory right here and set the boolean on our trace hit item. So let's go ahead and check. We'll say if inventory.num is greater than or equal to the inventory capacity, then we know the inventory is full. So we're going to add a comment and say inventory is full. And we're going to say trace hit item set character inventory full, and we're going to set that to true. Now we can use a else statement here, because else the inventory is not full. So we can say inventory has room, in which case we can set trace hit item character inventory full to false. So we're going to say set character inventory full to false. Now on item.cpp, let's give this a default value. So we're going to say be character inventory full, and let's basically set this to false by default. So now we have a boolean on the item class that we can refer to. So let's go ahead and compile this. Now back here in the editor, let's go back into the HUD folder and take a look at the pickup widget BP. Now here in pickup widget BP, we've got this pickup text, which we can name over here. We can call this pickup text, and we can take this pickup text and bind it. So let's create a binding. So we're going to click bind next to the text and create binding, and we have this get pickup text function. We're going to create a couple of local variables. I'm going to create a new local variable of type text, and I'm going to call this text pick up, and I'm going to compile and give it the default string pick up. Now I'm going to add a new local variable, and I'm going to call this one swap, and I'll go ahead and compile and give this the default string swap. Now I'm going to create one last local variable and call this one return text. Return text. And I'm going to simply plug return text in for the return value. Now first we need to get our item reference, and we need to make sure that this item reference is not empty, basically not null. And we can drag off of this and type the not equal and select not equal object. And if we leave this drop down blank, we're checking to see if it's not equal to nothing, basically if it's not null. So let's create a branch and use this for the Boolean condition. So this is basically saying if item reference is not null. False means it is null. So if we drag off of item reference, we can type character inventory full, and we can get that Boolean. Now from here, we can create another branch based on this Boolean. So if item reference is not empty, then the true can be plugged into this branch, which checks to see if the inventory is full. Now, if the inventory is full, we're going to set the return text. So let's get our return text and set that here. And if the inventory is full, we want swap. So we're going to put the text for swap there. And if the inventory is not full, we're going to set return text to pickup. And we can plug both of these into the return node. Now let's go ahead and compile, save that. Now let's go ahead and hit play, and I'll hover over and we'll see pickup as the text. Now let's fill up the inventory. Now we have a full inventory, and we'll hover over, and now it says swap. And if we go ahead and swap and look at the next one, it says swap. So this successfully changes our text on the widget to say swap whenever the inventory is full. So let's go ahead and conclude this video here. And in the next video, we'll take care of another subtle little issue, and that's that as soon as we fill up the inventory, if I'm going to swap an item, such as, let's say I'm going to switch to the item at the first slot, if I go ahead and swap the item, take a look at the icon on our inventory bar for slot 1. You'll see that it plays that animation raising the icon up when we swap the weapon. Now we don't want that to play. We only want that to play when we're actually swapping items, like going from 1 to 2. So we'll take care of that in the next video. We'll see you then.